all of these really mundane things that are in everyday society, regardless if, you're in the US and there are firearms, or if you're, in London and, there aren't, these skills are still applicable to you. So with that, bleeding control can be accomplished with just the t-shirt that you're wearing, or any kind of tight knit fabric. And that can be done on any part of the body. So not any part of the body. It can be done in parts of the body where that bleeding is controllable in the pre-hospital environment. So it's preventable causes of death is the name of the game. So for this, if you have a wound that is spurting, that is pooling blood under the patient, that is soaking through multiple layers of clothing and continuing to get bigger, there's a lot of different ways to identify life-threatening bleeding. But if you see that and you think it's life-threatening, take your t-shirt and start shoving it in the wound where you believe the bleeding is coming from. And this is good to use on junctional sites. So the base of the neck, the armpit and the groin, and then on any extremity, on any arm. We don't teach wound packing into like the cranial vault. So if they've got some brain showing, probably don't stick gauze in there. I hope that's common sense. We don't teach that into the chest cavity because you're just going to be compressing lungs, heart tissue, and you're not going to be getting to the source of bleeding. We don't do that in the abdomen either. But besides those spots, because ultimately there's nothing you're going to do for it in that environment, you can pack any other wound. So just being able to pack a wound and deal with life-threatening hemorrhage is another huge thing that you can do. And like I said, you don't need anything to do it. The next step would be getting into more of like carrying specialized tools. So I carry a tourniquet on me because that's a lot easier for me to apply to somebody's extremity if they're bleeding really bad, and it's faster to apply. But it's a piece of equipment I have to buy. I have to be confident in and be able to use. And then you can like take that one step further. You can look at like a pocket mask or something to breathe for somebody. You can look at naloxone if you're worried about overdoses. But I think that takes it to almost a larger knowledge base that you need a little bit more training to actually perform properly. And if they know those two skills, you're dealing with a lot of life threats. I would say some other things to look at that we talked about are recognizing a stroke. So being able to do a basic stroke assessment on somebody, and you can do the Cincinnati stroke scale, you can do the BFAST stroke scale, it doesn't matter. The big things you're looking for are, if they smile at you, you have them raise both sides of their mouth. If you have one side that is drooping, unilateral, one side, that's a sign of a stroke. Cool. We can basically say, we're going to treat this like a stroke until we can determine otherwise. If you have them take their arms out in front of them, close their eyes and count to 10, are they able to raise both hands? Does one arm fall? And then we can have them speak. So assuming they haven't had a bunch of beers at the local bar, have them speak. Are they slurring their words? Are the wrong words coming out? Are just sounds coming out? Are they just really confused? Those are all things that we can say, hey, this could be a stroke. We're going to treat it like a stroke, get them to the hospital. So being able to recognize that is one. Being able to recognize heart attack. Now, I don't want people to confuse it. The media gets really, they say like, oh, somebody had a heart attack on the field. And usually what they mean by that is cardiac arrest, that they're talking about their heart stopped. And a heart attack is actually a blockage of the coronary arteries in the heart, which can cause the heart to stop. But that is not always the cause of a cardiac arrest. So in a heart attack, this is chest pain.